Hey, 𝗟𝗶𝗶𝗱𝗃𝗃 here. I am getting started on a capability statement for 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃 is this company I'm building from January 1st to December 31st, 2025 to show you that when you follow the process that I teach, you can reach $1 million in sales. And so I'm not teaching you what I did. I'm not teaching you how to do it today, or even telling you if I started again, this is what I do. I'm literally eating my own dog food, right? I'm walking the talk. I'm going in and showing you that I am doing it. Along the way, I'll teach you a little bit, but mostly I just want you to be able to follow along with what I do. And I will start a company. I will show you how I will struggle, and then I'll succeed at getting $1 million in revenue. You'll see me change my mind on different things as I refine what I'm doing. And so today we're going to be talking about capability statement. If you haven't watched the earlier episodes, today is the 20th. President Trump is now in office, just got elected, or just got the inauguration. And so he's here in the DC area. By the way, if you're in the federal market, no matter what side you're on the politics, money spends in the federal government. So one way or another, it's going to keep spending. So don't worry about it. Our businesses are all good. Okay, so by the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I am the president of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce, co-founder of GovCon in a Box, and I want to welcome you to this journey where I try to document every single step. I spent 20 years as a small business owner. I've been a government contractor before, starting 2 different businesses myself, building them to successes. Now I'm showing you yet again how to do it. Okay, that was 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm watching my time, trying to get better. I'm going to track today on, what am I tracking on today? Capability statement. I want to get back to this because I started the capability statement, but the reality is once I have a capability statement, I could almost start telling people what I'm doing. Hey, what do you think? I'm going to start a business. It's going to be doing this. I'll actually probably use Nancy or some other people's efforts, or at least their emails, to do the outreach. So I minimize my presence because I do have a pretty big audience. So I'll try to show you as much as possible where I'm transparent to the process. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to show, I want to show 3 different capability statements. And so let me start with this one and share my screen. Let me see. Am I sharing? I think I'm sharing there. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen here. And here I just want to show you, I had an old draft of a capability statement. It was kind of generic one. And I got started and I got this far, typing in @𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃 and putting a logo in. Right? That's where we're at. So that's my logo. What I am going to do, though, is I have a company that I've worked with, one of my customers, and these guys, Graham, they do American Sign Language. So if you have any deaf communication access needs, let them know. So American Sign Language is their specialty. But here is the way I really like the capability statements. This is what I teach, and this is what I'm going to build in a minute. But the idea is, you see where it says Graham. It's like, okay, I know who you are. And then coming across, I see the UEI and the CAGE code. These are very important to the market researcher or the federal buyer because they instantly say, oh, so that company is registered in sam.gov. So it means they've registered enough to be able to sell to our agency. Perfect. And then as you come across, you can see that Graham is an 8A certified and woman-owned certified small business. That tells me a lot as a federal buyer. You can't become an 8A certified company unless you got at least 2 years of experience proving and demonstrating out what you're selling you've been paid for before. So in a split second, that's what the capability statement tells me. It is important to say the words capability statement. No matter what any individual says across the board, generally, buyers look for this. They want to know, oh, that's a capability statement. It's not a white paper or something. All right, so I teach a Z format where you go from Graham to the right and then down to the bottom and then across. And the idea of that is if you look at we deliver professional and administrative support services, we humans in America at least read left to right, left to right, left to right. And so the idea of the capability statement that I'm going to build, it needs to do the same thing. Tells you who I am, that I'm registered, and that I'm certified. And then here in the top right-hand quadrant of the main body is the core competencies. This is where I say, what do I sell? So for Graham, professional support services, deaf communication, blah, blah, blah. And then the idea is coming over to down that Z axis is past performance. And here, what agencies have paid me? What have they paid me to do before? These are really important. I can already see something I was just thinking. They've got a ton of experience. I don't. I'm starting a brand new company. But what I might do is I might put a screenshot of my newsletter where I could show the number of subscribers as just kind of a little, space filler, frankly. When I'm brand new, it's like I need something that is just going to do it. We'll figure that stuff out. But And then the idea, so here's what I sell. Here's the people who have paid me for it and the type of projects they paid me. And then I come across the differentiators, right? This is something that says, how am I different than my competitors? That is the Z format. If you notice, the NAICS codes are down at the bottom. Nina is the CEO of that company. Her contact information is at the bottom. It's not at the top. No one cares who Nina is until they realize that they like what she sells and they like that she's been paid for it before. Now they want to know, who can I call, right? And so they can reach out to Nina or Graham Inc. to be able to get sign language services. So I like this, and I'm going to copy this. And the last thing I will show you is this blank piece of paper. I thought I would just start with a blank piece of paper. I'm going to create all new 2025 templates, but out there, but I want to show you how I can pretty rapidly create a capability statement from blank. And you can do the same if you just take the time to learn Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint, right? These are the tools of our trade, learning the skills in there. All right, so let me find my guys, stop sharing for a second. I only want to share one thing with you. I didn't realize I didn't stop sharing. I only want to share one thing. And so let me go to that window, a blank piece of paper. This is what I'm going to show you over and over again, this blank piece of paper. And I'm going to show you the miracle of it being built. So you don't need to see the Graham one anymore. But one thing I did like is the piping blue. So I'm just going to mimic that. And here, I just want to show you how I do it. So I'm going to go to insert, come on, insert. Right here are shapes. And I want this shape up here. So I'm going to go like that. And now if I drag it, actually, let me zoom in so you can see. So you can see when I get it to or actually I can leave it right there. And over here, I can say align to the left. Align to the left of the page right there. You see it? So I'm going to say align to the left of the page, align to the top of the page. I'm going to zoom back out for a second. And here, I'm going to stretch it. And when you stretch it, depending on the tool you use, it should pop. It's 8.5 by 11. So I just need to go, see right here, it says 8.42. If I hit 8.5, perfect. So now it just filled it in. I got a block there. What I probably want to do is make this shorter. And now I need to figure out what color I want to use. I am not a graphics guy by any means. So I could go find show you how I upload the logo, but I already got it. So I'm just going to copy it and put it here. Wait, one. Okay. So now I got a logo. And the one thing I can see is I probably want I want a white background here, but, and actually now that I see it, I might want to do this the same way where because of the nature of my logo, I'm going to go up to the top and I can have a little bit more flexibility. And I'm going to say like that big. And I've got no rule behind this. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to pretend like I know everything about graphics. I don't. So here, I'm just looking at the size. So this is 1.3 high and this one is 1.3. And so I'm going to make it just a teeny bit shorter, 1.29. And there you go. So now it's a nice clean white box there. Now, one of the other logos I was going to put here is I'm going to do something a little creative. I don't have any certification. I'm not a woman-owned company. I'm not 𝗟𝗂𝗃𝗂𝗃 is, but we're not going to be a woman-owned small business. We're not going to be a veteran-owned or Hubzone or 8A. I'm not doing any of those. But I am going to take advantage because I can do what I want sometimes until somebody yells at me. But you see how this is, let me zoom in for 1 second. So that kind of fits well. I'm still not good with the color, so we'll get back to the color in a second. And let me zoom in with you. So here, what I want to do is first off, let me try to center this. Come on. I'm going to try to center these guys. Align the middle. Well, that didn't work. You got to pay attention to this. So here, I want to align just the centered selected objects. The middle. Good. I think I did it without messing up let me just zoom out here really quick. So, okay, so it looks like I didn't mess up the thing. But one thing I am noticing, see this, I think I want this to be even shorter, or like that. So now it kind of is the same line. Right, again, I'm not trying to win awards here. So let me do this one more time. I'm going to shrink that guy. I'm going to bring him up like right here in that corner. I'm going to select the two of them, I think. Picture format, align, selected objects, middle. Okay. All right, so now let me show you the trick I will do. And trick's a loose term. It just means how can I use the SBA logo like everybody else without having 8A? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a shape. This guy's good enough. I'm going to go like this. So I just inserted a shape on top. I'm going to say no outline, and the shape fill, I'm going to, oh man, where's my little picker? Oh, how do I do this? Hold on one second. So usually you can pick a color like, hold on. Oh, one thing I just noticed is that this has an outline. I don't want it to have an outline. Well, okay, so I'm going to sneak away for 1 second because, and I'll come back. Don't worry. I'm going to copy this, and I'm only sharing Word, but I'm going to go to PowerPoint really quick if I can find it. Oh, that's funny. I don't have PowerPoint open. I don't know why, but in Word, I don't use it enough to know how to do this trick I'm about to do. But in PowerPoint, I can go in and put that shape of the SBA, and then I can sit there and say, I want to fill in a color, and it gives me a little eyedropper, if you're familiar with that. I could show that to you, but I'm not going to. So let me go back really quick. I'm going to get that color. So it gave me a number. There it is, Control A, Control Z. Okay, so I know I was away for a minute, but here you go. I'm back. So what I did is I went over to PowerPoint, and I used something called an eyedropper over there. If you went to PowerPoint and clicked on the drop-down shape fill, in PowerPoint, it's got the little eyedropper. You just hover above the SBA color in the background, and when I do, I'm going to be able to put this color, Control A, V, Tab, OK. So now, and no outline. Oops, sorry. But now you can see I just basically got rid of that. And I'm just going to leave it like that. But now I take advantage of the SBA logo. It looks familiar to people. They don't know why it looks familiar, but it's like, there it is. All right, I'm still not sure if I want a background or whether I do something different because of the nature of the color. And I really don't want a massive amount of color too. That's kind of a big deal for me. I think after all that work, I'm probably going to get rid of this guy, and I'm just going to put in a couple of sections here. So I'm going to do shape now, and I'm going to do this, which is capability statement. And let me go back to home. I'll center that little guy. I'll come back and format it in a second, but I'm going to create a second one. See how I'm dragging it down? And so here, I'm just going to say UEI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's 9, right? And then I'll tab and a pipe and tab. Actually, I might just do it like that. That's called a pipe. And so here's the cage. I'll do this 1, 2, R, 3, 4. Okay, so hold on. Let me go back to my main guy. Okay, the one other thing I'll probably add in here is 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃, because they don't know the name of my company. So 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃. I might even add LLC just for the fun of it so they don't wonder what it is. Okay, so now we're off to the races. First thing I'm going to do is select both of these guys, and I'm going to get rid of the color in the background because I don't need any fill, and I don't need any outline. So now I just need to be able to move it around. The other thing I need to do is to make sure it's nice and big. So I'm just going to drag that, and this guy should be fine. So I like to do large font to make it easy for people to read. See how this is 11? I'm going to make that bigger. So 14, I'm going to make it 16. I really want you to see my numbers, and especially, people their eyes are tired. I'm helping them out. Okay, so I'm going to do this, Control B, and then I'm going to grab this number here. And if you go to, where do you go? I think it's maybe here. We'll find out in a second. Text effect, no, come on. Each tool is a little different. That's why I struggle. Well, I can't find it, and I don't really care. But on, and I might find it later offline. But I can actually take the spacing. Maybe it's text effect. Nah, I don't know where it's at the moment. It doesn't matter. But I can take the spacing, and I will. I want to make 1, 2, 3, 4. I want there to be space between each one of them. It allows the eye to see it so much easier. Okay, so that one's big enough. I'm just going to come here. Looks like that's not a problem. And I'll leave this guy here for a second. And now I'm going with these guys. So let's make these as big as I can. Well, 20 is fine. And actually, so there's a space there. You see that? I think what I want to do, and I'm just being creative here. Oh, man, what's that color? That color's killing me. But I'm just going to go with the idea that it's red. Later on, I can come back and try to match that color. Actually, I should match it really quick. Hold on. Control C. So I guess I should have, when I got my logo designed, I should have asked them to tell me what the color was of the logo. All right, so I'm going to come back here. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm quickly doing the shape fill, the eyedropper on the red of the N. I'm looking at it, and then I'm selecting that shape, and I'm saying, tell me what the number is. Control A, C, and that's all fine. So I'm back here. Okay, so I'm going to change this guy, the font color. I'm going to change it to Control A, V. So that number there, turns out that's the color. And next time you get a logo, ask the guy to tell you what the colors are. This one here, I'm just going to make this nice and big. And let me just see what I got. So I'm playing with a lot of stuff here. First thing I want to do is kind of, I guess I just want to center this guy and this guy I need to center. So let's start with those guys. I need to align them, middles to selected object. Good, it moved that guy down. Then this guy and this guy. Well, so this guy needs to be shortened. That's fine. And then this guy needs to, this guy and this guy need to be centered. Align, center the selected objects, perfect. And then this guy needs to come up, probably right there. And now that I see this, I need to go back to home, and I think there's some spacing after the paragraph or before. Must be spacing before. Oh, sorry, after is 8 points. And so I'm going to drop it down to 6 and see what I see. Oh, so right there, I'm kind of okay with it. I'm going to grab these guys, and all I did, I'm going to grab this guy, and I'm going to go shape format, and here say group. For now, I'm going to keep them together. It's like, okay, you guys look fine. So I'm just going to move it up. Well, now that I see all three of them, I might just try to center them all. Boop. Okay. And I think I'm okay with that. Actually, this guy's too far. He's too high. I need him to come down just a little bit. So I'm going to get this guy down to 0. Okay. And what is this guy? 16. I might take that guy down 1 level to 14. There you go. Really basic. I could put all sorts of stuff if I wanted in the background. I might even consider doing that, just so you know. I might come back later and actually do that. So here I'm going to insert, what am I doing? I'm going to insert a shape. I want to have a good solid line here. So I'm just grabbing a line. Here I know I want it to be 8.5, tab. And then I'm going to center this little guy on the page. So center to that. There you go. And so now I'm going to make it nice and big. That's nice and big. And oh, look at that. I made a mistake and I didn't group those guys. Okay. I need to zoom way in, huh? Okay, so I need to come up a little bit and over and up and over and over. Okay, make sure it's good to go. Arg. Looks good to go. I'm hiding it, so I'm going to click that guy, and I'm going to go up here to group and group. Now they won't go away from me. I'm going to back up. At the moment, I like these guys, and so I'm going to group that guy, and this guy, and I'm going to come over here and say group. Now if I move something, I'm kind of moving the whole world, which is okay with me. All right, and then this guy here, I do want it to be the color of, well, I was going to say the color of the blue, but I might as well just make my life easy and only take that line color, only take this color I just did. So now I'm starting to get it look like the Nancy, the logo, the Nancy, this, it's kind of looking okay. I'm going to use those same colors. So let me go remind myself what the next thing I want. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, where are we, is in here. And let me just track my time really quick. I don't know where I'm at. Okay, 21 minutes, but bear with me. I can give you a template, but I'm showing you how to do this on your own. And then later I can give you a template. But it'll pick up speed here. So now I'm going to grab one of these rounded guys, and I'm going to go like this. And the first thing I'm going to do is prep it for me. So I think the main thing I want to do is just make it no outline, and then this guy is use that. And so I'm going to use several of these. And so let's call this core competencies. And then, so if you hold down the control key, you can do another one. So over here is going to be past performance. And then this guy, one more. This guy will be what's it called? Differentiators, right? And so I wish I could go back and forth, but I got 1,000 windows open. I don't need you to see a lot of my private stuff. But one other thing I'm going to do is create the bottom footer in that same color scheme, and I'll come back and organize these in a minute. So I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to say shapes, grab this. I'm going to grab it. I guess I could have took that one from the top. So we know this is 8.5 by 11. So we want this to be 8.5. Tab, and then I'm going to sit there and say align it center to the page. So now it's aligned center. Shape fill, I'm clicking on that same red. I'm going to get rid of the outline, so no outline. And we're already off to the races, right? And the last thing I'm going to do is say align to the bottom of the page. I want to pull this up a little bit, and there's two main things I want, and I just wanted to check. So here, I'm going to insert shape text again. In this case, well, let me do it like this. What am I doing? So I'm going to use 541.611 as my NAICS codes, right? So you only, hey, come on. Okay, so you only need, you only really need 5. And here you see the font is that. I'm just going to build it up to 12 because I don't really care. I don't have a lot of past performance, so I'm going to need real estate to be free. So I'm going to pull this up a teeny bit like that, let's say. And here, I'll put this in. Now I realize two things. I need to change the font to white. And let's call, and then the shape fill to nothing. And so now it's starting to line up the border to nothing. And if I spread this, let's see. So I'm just kind of winging it at the moment, center it. I might even actually put, PCS, but I have no idea what the PCS is, frankly, or PSC for this, but let's just call it R70 or something. And so my goal is to make it kind of visible there. And now what I will do is, actually, I'm going to make this one, just to do easy math, I'm going to make this 8.5 as well. and I'm going to center it on the page. So now it's good to go. It's looking good. Because I like that, now I'm just going to copy it down. Hey, what happened? That doesn't make any sense, does it? Control Z. I must have messed something up. Down. There we go. So I'm going to come right about there because, you know, eyeball is the best way to do something. Here, I'm going to put in, so let's just put in Nancy. What am I looking for? Title, phone number, and email. So here, comma, sorry, 1 second. So I like using pipes. That's over the enter key. So here I can just put president. Next thing is phone number. So I can put in 555.1212. And email is 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂 So when you warm it up, it starts getting trusted by the government buyers that I'm going to send it to. And the last thing is an email. So, or HTTPS dot, come on. What am I doing wrong? www.Nancy. Actually, I like doing capitals here. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗂.com. Okay, so let me look at this thing really quick. Come back to that in 1 second. So let's zoom this out to page level, page view, and I might pause for 1 second here. So really quickly, I'm starting to create a theme or a color around what I'm seeing. And I'm not some graphic wizard. I can play with Microsoft Word and other stuff. So I can see these guys. These all look a little too small for me. I don't know what the right size is, but I'm going to go to shape format. And I can see that the width is 2. So I'm going to make it, I don't know, 3.2. Let's see what that is. And then I want to go to the font. And here, I want this font to be, let's say 18, right? I want it to be bold. That means I need the height to be bigger. So I got to go back to my shape format. I'm going to go to 5. And that looks fine there for a second. So now I start moving these things around. So let me just drag this little guy. Hold on 1 second. I'm looking at my reference. Whenever I'm like not totally there, I'm looking at my reference. So one of the things we definitely learned is that sometimes white is too brutal. And so if we can do gray, that kind of works better. And so I'm going to put one more box in here as a just color background type thing. So let me zoom in, show you what I'm doing. I'm going to get rid of the outline. And the color I want to be like this light gray. I just want anything less than white, if that makes sense. Okay, and so let me zoom back out to page view because this is faster here. So I'm going to bring this down. First off, I'm going to send this to the back to make sure it's always in the back. I'm going to bring it down here. I put it below, and now I'm going to align it to the page and to the left. You see it's there. I'm going to make it 8.5 by 11. And boom, so now it's there. And now I will drag it up here, and I have to zoom in to make sure I'm in the right place. Oh, okay, perfect. And now I'm just going to keep dragging it right there. Because it's behind, let's go see what that looks like. One page. So now it's not as brutal. I still got that brutal top. I might figure something else out, but differentiator, I might have a bigger differentiator than the average person. And so I'll have to figure that out. Actually, we'll work that together. But basically, it's going to be something like this. If I go here and I say align the lefts, and let me put that there. Let me bring this guy down a little bit. I didn't mean to grab the other one, but like right there. It doesn't have to be the ultimate top. Okay, right there. I just want enough to kind of pop like that. And that's, what size is that again? That's 18. So it's more than big enough for them to see it. And here, it doesn't matter where I place this. I can figure it out later. But I've got a feeling I'm going to put it up here at the top. And now what I really want to know is like, I wish I could, I can't remember, like this thing's a positioning. If I really want to get perfect, right, I'm going to sit here and say format shape. And I think it has, let me click on these guys really quick. So here it is. I have vertical alignment on this guy. He's sorry, just trying to figure it out. That's not the part I wanted. That was just text box. Vertical, middle. Yeah, I'm still missing the part I wanted. Like somewhere in there, you can find the position. Let me try one more time and then I'll just stop. Layout, set default. Nah. So I have no idea where it's at. I'm going to come up here and try to eyeball it. So first, let me zoom in. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm just going to get me a sample. So I'm going to insert a shape really quick. I'm going to insert it like that. And then I'm going to zoom way in. And this is my cheat. Like, not that I cheat, but this is how I kind of line up. So I'm going to go to the right. And then here I'm going to pull it until it's right on top of it. I'm like, hey, that looks good. And then I'm going to line this guy to the left. We're going to go over and visit it right there. And so this guy here, I'm going to move him over like this until they're touching. Come on, 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 come on. I think right about there is good enough. Certainly good enough for eyeballing, right? And so I did that. I'm going to view one page. Now, I only want this guy. Good. And I don't want that. And then I'm going to drag him down, but I held the shift key down. So I'm probably going to stop it right about here. And this is going to give me a good thing out here that is a start, right? It's a beginning thing for me. You will see me as I move forward that I'll put in some white boxes. And these white boxes are going to be designed. Let me get you an example really quick. If I do a white box like this, right, and let me get rid of all this content because I can grab it later. And if I get rid of that, so now you can see this white box. I'll put it over here. And by the way, I can already see this is the size box I want because I spent a lot of time perfecting it. You know what? I'm sorry. Even as I do this, I feel like I'm going to put differentiator and past performance kind of over there. All right, but see these white boxes, then I'll put the text in, and you can see around the white box is that, let me make that a little bigger, like right there. And then I'm going to align these. Center. Still, that's good enough. So you see where it's starting to look like this. So it'll have that little gray in the background, but I'll put clean big text here that let me see it. So this is the direction I'm going to go. It's going to be a red, apparently it's going to be a red capability statement. I don't really care, right? It just is what it is out there. But the idea is I'm going to have a capability statement that is mine, right? I have that logo. I'm going to tie it to that logo. It took me 30 minutes because I'm kind of building it from scratch. And if you built it from scratch, it might take you a lot longer too. When I'm done the capability statement, I will hand out that capability statement as a Word file. So then you can just replace words, change colors. I have so many companies that use what I use, that template that I showed you from Graham, the American Sign Language Company. So many people who use that in the government contracting or the market researchers, federal buyers are like, oh, this is so easy to see. You don't want to win awards with capability statements. You just want them to go, that's what you sell. This is who bought it from you. Sounds good. Let's have a meeting. Capability statements, again, the purpose is to get a meeting. It's not to do anything else. All right, that was 30 minutes. Literally, I thought I would come in for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, but it's 30 minutes. I'm building this. Like I said, I'm going to work an hour a day on this business as I demonstrate how I can get it to $1 million. It'll take me, let's say it'll take me 3 hours to finish this capability statement completely. So the next couple of days, I'm also going to insert, I think I'm going to hear back from the IRS and from Delaware about my company being formed. So I'll just insert that into the next few days as well. Thursday and Friday, the 23rd and the 24th, I got to play it by ear because I'm not going to be, I'm going to go speak at this thing called the Defense Forum Summit in Washington, D.C. And it's a good audience. I'll be moderating the whole thing, and there's 200 people there, but I'm there the whole time. So I got to figure out, I'll probably bring in my wireless mic and my phone, and I'll try to insert a lesson about networking to go along with, hey, I'm at this place. I don't know anybody. How would I network? So, okay. Hope you found it valuable. I will see you in the next training.